there's this guy on Twitter who's gone like crazy viral recently, promoting a program of thumb pulling. Is this thing. The idea is that you're supposed to stick your thumbs into your mouth and push them on the roof of your mouth and then pull out to apply a like an upward and outward pressure onto your maxilla to try and widen it and grow your jaw forward. And he's using his own progress pictures to promote this. He's like, yeah, dude, I thumb pulled so fucking hard. But like he just got a jaw surgery. Like he literally just got a jaw surgery and then took before and after pictures. And now he's like using those pictures to promote the idea that you should like pull with your thumbs on your face super hard and you'll be beautiful. It's like the ultimate.
Is this the guy who's like a little bit bald?
No, I think he actually has pretty good hair. I mean, overall, the guy looks really good, but it's just funny. He's absolutely scamming. Uh, it's like all of these Zoomer guys do these hilarious scams where they just go and they just get a jaw surgery and then they're like, oh yeah, dude, like I achieved this by like bone smashing. It's this esoteric technique where you like take like an 8-ounce rubber mallet and you beat it against your face until your skull sutures are just like loosened enough that you can just like remodel into your natural face that God meant you to have, which is always beautiful. So they just like convince everybody to do this like ridiculous shit. I think they have like a group chat somewhere where they're like giving each other props for like what sort of ridiculous trash they can get like average people.
Well, they're like trying to one up each other, right? Like it started
like,
with
I'm
like,
gonna get them to do the dumbest thing ever, and they're like, no, dude,
I'm gonna get them all
you
to
haven't
suck
heard
on
of
their
bone
finger.
smashing, bro. Like it's gonna be so much dumber.
Do you think the guy who made like a bunch of people smash their bones with a tiny like vanity iron mallet wins, or
He's
do you think the
probably
guy who
worshiping
got?
like a god. They're like, dude, we will never be able to top
I
bone.
think getting a bunch of adults to like suck on their thumb unironically is pretty bad, though.
You're recording the first episode of Plausibly Deniable, brought to you by Polymarket, Citizen X, and Passage Press, our beloved sponsors. All of his fans and community will come and be like, I hate you, dude. Like, this is my idol. How could you say this about my idol? He would never lead me astray with the thumb pulling. It's so real. Didn't you see Mike Mew retweeted? He said that thumb pulling might work, bro. Like, please. Like, this is my only hope. I'm so scared of jaw surgery. Please, just let it work.
No, I think it's just very bad. But I do think I think Looksmaxing has gone totally normie,
Yes,
absolutely mainstream, and I don't
bro.
think it's ever going to be the same.
They're unironically getting the Shin-Lengthening surgery. This was the one that is like, I'm really willing to do like experimental nonsense, but the Shin-Lengthening surgery is simply too far for me, right? Because most of the like weird skull surgeries actually are like functionally beneficial, right? Like the average person looks better if you get like a double jaw surgery, but you also like there's some functional benefit to this, right? But also you'll just look better. But then you have this like shin thing where it's like, yeah, I guess technically you're taller, right? But like you're also taller if you walk everywhere on stilts. And it doesn't really do anything for your proportions,
Well,
right?
it does make it, you can't run for like a year, right? And the other thing is you just end up with the most like fucked up proportions. Like in theory,
Yes.
you look good from a distance, but the proportions super fucked up because like if they were lengthening your thigh, it wouldn't be so bad. But shin is
You're right.
just very awkward.
They're adding like half a foot to your shins, but not your arms. So now you're this weird, like inverted chimpanzee proportion phenotype, right? Where you have like these little stubby midget arms, and then you have these enormous legs, but actually it's not your legs, it's only your shins, right? So it's like if you ever take your clothes off, I think it's just completely over. Like you have to wear pants everywhere for the rest of your life. But then you also have the weird issues of like you can't really like stretch tendons, right? Like you can in theory pull on them like a little, but like you can't just like add 6 inches to a tendon. So like it doesn't matter how slowly you advance your shins when you're growing them, you're kind of fucked. Kind of fucked.
Dude, that video of James O'Keefe, oh my
I was about
God.
to bring
That
that
is
one up.
just
But basically what happened in this video is like there's some gay black guy who's having an interview where he just talks about how like dumb and incompetent white people are with like James O'Keefe. James O'Keefe is a conservative journalist guy who goes undercover and just gets a bunch of like liberals to say like, we are like satanic evil lizard people hell-bent on destroying the white race. And for some reason it just keeps working in the most cartoonish ways. Like he can literally just send like a random blonde girl to eat dinner with like any of these people, and they'll be like, yeah, so like here's how we cooked the books on like this state's accounting, or like, yeah, so this is how we stole this election, or like, yeah, so this is how we do like discriminatory hiring without it technically being like breaking the law. And it's been going on for like 8 years, some like insanely long period of time. This was the first time I've seen where James O'Keefe himself was the actual person who did it. Usually he just sends in some like random blonde girl that they
He's
do all this.
disintermediating, yeah. His
Yeah,
his
but
models
this
got,
time
like, too
he's talking to like a
expensive.
gay guy. So he goes and talks to the gay guy as himself, because the blonde woman wouldn't work on the gay guy, right? Because it's the wrong poles of the magnets, right? They're flipping. He needs he needs James O'Keefe to come in there himself.
Yeah.
He's wearing this pair of like clear glasses, and then he's like, "Anyway, do you know who I am?" And then he like takes off his glasses, his clear glasses, which change his appearance approximately zero. And then he goes, "I'm James O'Keefe," and the guy's like,
He goes, "No, you're
"No,
not."
you're
It's
not."
so funny. He
And he's
goes,
like
"No, you're
worried.
not." He, like, denies it.
Yeah, so he's like,
Oh my
you
god.
can't be James O'Keefe. This can't be real. Like, I don't." And then when he realizes and accepts that it is James O'Keefe, he stands up from the table and he literally starts sprinting away. Like he leaves the
He's this,
restaurant
like,
that they're eating at
very,
by
very
sprinting.
fat guy.
Yeah.
I think he
And
falls
he
over, like,
falls at
10
the end.
paces.
He falls.
Yes.
Dude, I saw this and I was like, this is a skit. Like, this is not real.
I do think some of these guys probably, like, you're like a liberal guy, you're like a Democrat guy who works at, like, I don't know, the Department of, like, Nuclear Energy, right? And, like, you're on a date with some liberal woman, and you've basically been conditioned, like, you're maybe like 30. You've been conditioned for the past like 10 years of your life since college to, like, just at any time if you want to get laid, say the most woke thing possible. Right. Like, but like you've just been trained your whole life to say the most woke, like DEI, whatever insane shit possible. So you're sitting there like, yeah, our nuclear reactors only work with black engineers. Like it only works if a gay like and then she's sitting there and she goes like, but what about disabled people? Like she's egging you on, right? And like
Yeah.
you've been trained your whole life for the past 10 years. No, it's very bad. But yeah, it's just the funniest thing. I don't know how it would be really funny if like the equilibrium that happens is like if you're like liberal, you just can't date anymore thanks to James O'Keefe. James O'Keefe just destroys the entire dating scene in DC because none of these people like can learn to control themselves. So it's just like you're not allowed to date anyone anymore.
I mean, I just feel like it doesn't actually matter because, like, at this point, like the notion that you get caught by James O'Keefe and anything bad happens to you, like I think it's the same idea with doxing, right? When the right was like getting left wingers fired for celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, like the left has like a strong enough support network that they're literally just going to rehire them in 2 days. Like it's the same thing with this
Well, it's the
like this
same thing as
enormously incompetent fat gay black man, right? Like he's literally just going to be rehired. Like he could get fired for like, dude, like, come on, man. Like it said in your employment contract, don't spill all of our trade secrets to James O'Keefe, renowned conservative undercover journalist, bro. But like he'll literally just be rehired at the building across the street in like 2 days. And like the right wing is kind
yeah.
of in this position now too, actually, where like there's enough people who like if you get canceled for saying the N-word or something, they'll just be like,
Yeah, that's what I
wow,
was gonna
dude,
bring
like
up.
that's so based. Like I would hire the girl who publicly said the N-word. So like it's this weird stalemate where like canceling is going to go away just because it doesn't work by either side anymore. We have no shared morality. If there's like we had the thing come out about how the Georgia votes are like invalidated, and like I could go and I could tell a bunch of liberal people like, oh, did you see that like the state of Georgia is admitting that like more votes than would have swayed like the margin of the state of Georgia were actually uncertified, and this was done in like a hearing that's like, this is like official, bro. Like they stole the election, like officially. They would just be like, yeah, if I'm being honest with you, man, like it was good that they did it. Like I've always kind of
Yeah,
known,
no
like
one
it was just
cares.
good that they did it. I'm mad that they found out that it happened, but like I wish that they would have done it even more, actually, and I wish they would have done it last election too. So like
Well, did you
get
see? I think
fucked,
the
right?
last woman who said the N word, like at first she was like, "I accidentally said the N-word, I didn't mean to." And then she realized how much money people were giving her, and she was like, "No, I meant to say it
She was
actually."
like, "I
Like,
meant yeah, like,
she's
I
like,
meant it
"Yeah."
from, like, the bottom of my heart, like, I've never meant any word that I."
And then, like, the money, like, she just sees, like, this number start, like, skyrocketing.
It's like one of those
There
cartoon, it's like a Tom and Jerry skit where, like, the dollar signs, like, appear in her eyes, which, like, grow and stick out, and there's
Yes.
like an audible, like, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching as her eyes, like, advance out of her head, like, more with every dollar sign growth.
No, it's literally worse than that. I think at this point, it's like a prediction. It's like that prediction market meme. Thank you, Polymarket, for sponsoring the podcast. By the way, It's like that prediction market meme where, like, you know, I don't know if you saw these tweets. Gort had a good one where he's like, you know, prediction apps are going to replace delivery apps. Like, I just bet, you know, $900 that, like, no one will deliver me Uber Eats of the type I want, and then someone will go grab the food, bet against me, drop it off at my door, and, like, make $900. I feel like we've gotten to that point for the N word where, like, any decently attractive white woman in kind of any urban area in America can, like, say the N word and, like, instantly get, like, a 100K to, like, $1 million, like, payout.
I had a tweet exactly saying this. I was like, "We are living through, like, a very brief, strange period in history where you can actually go and as a white woman, like, you don't actually have to resort to OnlyFans. Like, you can actually just go call someone a slur, and you will make
Do you
more
think
money."
anyone has, like, faked it yet or, like, thought about faking it?
That'd be so funny if, like,
Friends?
there's, like, a group of, like, struggling single moms out there that have been, like, trying to get canceled. They've been going around, they've called, like, 600 people per day the N-word. They've been trying so hard, but nobody will film them, and their kids are starving.
Their kids, it's like one of those memes where, like, the kid's like, "Mom, do we have to go beg at the bus stop?" It's like, "Mom, do we have to go call black people
She's
again?"
like
Oh my god, man. Yeah, you cannot make that up.
like, we just entirely made it up,
Well, what
like,
you
that was
can't
all
make
made
up
up.
is what you can't make up is, like, the political climate where, like, there's actually just, like, an 100K to, like, $1 million subsidy to anyone who's willing to say the N-word. Like, there's just $1 million lying on the ground, right? Yeah, it's interesting times, interesting times. You've gone on screen and left me, and now my crippling anxiety is kicking in. So, did you see this stuff about Brazil where they have, like, the right to beauty and, like, the government will pay for your, like, boob job or whatever? That is so amazing, man.
Dude,
They're
that is
just so ahead of everyone else.
wait, what surgeries will they pay for? Is it like
They'll
because
pay for
if you can get a
literally
boob job, it's
every
around the
kind of
same
cosmetic
price as, like,
surgery.
a double jaw surgery.
They'll pay for almost anything.
Dude,
No, it's
honestly,
like, it's pretty insane. They'll do the Brazilian butt lifts, they'll do, boob jobs, they'll do nose gets done a lot, all of that type of stuff gets done pretty extensive.
that's pretty dumb. They probably shouldn't do BBLs. I don't it's just, like, it's such, like, a messy surgery. I don't know, whatever, who cares? Whatever, it's just Brazil can do whatever they want. America needs to just follow up and inject everyone. Like, go around with blow darts, blow gunning people with, like, GLP-1s, like Ozempic. Just every fat person. Like, it doesn't even matter if multiple people hit the same fat person because they're probably so overweight that it's like you could quadruple the dose and it's fine.
Well,
Just
we
have,
were
like,
talking about
don't
this
even
with fluoride before, right? Like, we should just put, Ozempic in the water supply at this point, right? That would I actually think it's, like, very hard to argue against putting Ozempic in the water supply because I think, like, 40 to 50% of the US is obese. Yeah, it's not good. I'm a little bit less, accelerationist pill than you on this stuff, Lucas, I think, where I just want to get, like, a bunch of these crazy surgeries or whatever. But with, like, being obese is actually just so unbelievably unhealthy for you.
like, dude, these people are inventing problems that, like, shouldn't even exist in humans. Like, you're, like, fusing bones together through sheer mass, right? It's like these people are so fat and they're moving so little that, like, parts of their body that are not even supposed to be, like, fused as bones are just like they're like, fuck it, like they're going diamond mode on us, bro. Like, they're pressing so hard for so long, we don't have any choice. We've just got to fuse up, man.
So it's really bad. I got stuck in an elevator pretty recently with friend of the show, Curtis Yarvin, and multiple other people.
Great
And
name drop,
I
dude.
think
Great.
Curtis is looking quite thin, but some of the other people on the elevator maybe could have been hit with an Ozempic blow dart or two. It
I think
wouldn't
it's
have been
also
bad for
really
them.
funny that we're just blaming, like, random, like, infrastructural problems on like fat people, and it's like it might not even be wrong, right? We're like, oh fuck, the elevator broke, this is fat people clearly, right? like you know that
Well, everything is
planes have been
downstream of
falling out of
fat
the sky.
people. Like
The
the
planes have been
U.S.
falling out of the
budget.
sky like crazy. They've just been crashed. It's like probably because of the fat people too. Like think about the weight. Like they weren't definitely this fat before, but now you put all the fat people up there in the air and they just start falling. What do you expect?
I think you can trace a direct line from how many fat people there are in the U.S. to the U.S. having so much debt because Medicare and Medicaid are just such massive expensive because people are fat.
Every time I think about the fact that like you cannot just exclude fat people from insurance coverage and like I must actually support their payments, I have to pay into this system so that all these fat people can go in and have them tell them like, dude, like you're overweight. Did you know that? Like you could try dieting. And they're like I dieted, but I can't lose weight. Like even if I eat less calories, like nothing happens.
Dude, I can't believe that one tweet where Yadowski was like claiming that the laws of thermodynamics were not relevant to his specific
Dude,
body. He was like,
every
he
fat
was
person
literally
does it.
claiming that
Like,
his body was exempt from like the laws of thermodynamics, and he was just spontaneously gaining mass
I
without eating food.
I was a personal trainer for a couple years in college. There were two things that I stopped. One, I almost instantly stopped training women because I realized that like women have these bizarre like rules that they've invented for types of food that don't have calories, right? Like the most common one was girls would say like, "Yeah, no, I didn't eat anything." And then you ask more and like you poke around and you figure out like one of the roommates is telling you that like they ate like 24 popsicles or something. And you're like, well, but you ate the popsicles. And they're like, yeah, but they're frozen. They don't have calories. And you're like, well, what do you mean by
Oh
that
no,
exactly?
man.
Like, could you explain? And
The
it's
other one is
literally like a girl
alcohol.
math meme where they're telling you like, yeah, well, like if it's frozen, it doesn't taste like it has calories or something. And you're just like,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a big believer. I mean, I'm curious where you stand on this one, but I'm a big believer that like 90% of the thing is getting into the gym and just like doing what, like not sitting there on your phone for an hour. As long as you do that, you're probably getting like 90% of the juice out of there.
yeah.
And all the weird like science versus bro lifting versus like, people have written like thousands of pages, like millions of hours wasted collectively. And it's like
No, it's
all
all
for like
just
a
like
5% difference.
this was the biggest thing that I learned from training people is like I really like, I'd gotten into all the studies, all the science-based lifting, all of the like what works best, like I'd tried this and that and I was so excited to go tell people what like the most optimal workout routine was. And then I realized that actually this doesn't matter at all and nobody cares and it will never matter. And actually your job as a personal trainer is not like to impart information, but it's like to manipulate behavior. Like your goal is to get a person who otherwise would not exercise, diet, or be in the gym at all to do all of those things in any way. Like it does you're not there to teach them the most optimal way to do anything. You're there to just fucking get them to do it for some amount of time every week and to like pay attention to it because otherwise they wouldn't do it. And like they're hiring you because they're admitting that like were it not for some sort of like outside influence imposed by like the fact that they feel bad now, right? If they pay a personal trainer like a large sum of money and they just ignore all of his advice, it like imposes this level of accountability. Like I now have to do this thing, right? So your job is to
Well,
go
it
in.
feels mentally like they're losing the money if they don't
Yeah,
go, despite
yeah,
the fact that they've already lost the money. Yeah.
yeah. So they actually have to listen now. Your job is literally just to get them to do anything at all, really. Like you have to find something that they don't hate so much that they will actually keep coming back. I think we should just do like a bunch of different styles of episodes for these, but one that's very funny, I think, would be to have
Therapy
like
episode
random
would be
people
so funny.
come on and like tell us about their relationship problems, and we do like a we can do like a who's the guy? Caleb Hammer. We can do like Dave Ramsey, Caleb Hammer style podcast where instead of giving
Like
like the advice, we just like
halfway through, they go like, it's actually a long distance relationship, and we both just like sigh and turn off the camera. The same as like Caleb Hammer every time he's like, yeah, and like we were actually getting $4,000 a month from like the VA, and it's just like the bit, like every single
dude,
time, it's just like this one thing.
I had almost this exact same thing happen with a friend recently where like he told me like all of these relationship problems and I probably spent like 30 minutes just like trying to help this guy out, and then at the end he like randomly drops this tidbit that she's like 19, and I'm just like,
No,
like,
that's so funny when you're, like, carefully analyzing the situation, you're, like, figuring out how everything relates to everything, and it's just, like, you didn't even know, like, the most basic fact that just immediately clears up everything. I just don't think anyone has any self-control at all now. And, like, for the past 20 years, we've gotten it's so funny, like, all the insecurity propaganda where it's like, if your boyfriend doesn't let you sit on your ex's lap, like,
your
at his
boyfriend, yeah,
house
if
at
your
3 AM in the
boyfriend doesn't
morning
let you
while
go
you're
on a
wasted.
one-on-one helicopter ride with your ex in like a different country over a romantic volcano, then he's a gay bitch.
If your boyfriend doesn't understand that you have to share a bed and you can't wear clothes for like 3 months with your ex, he's actually just insecure, man. I think the only way that these things get resolved is like we have to start doing the same thing back.
No, yeah,
Um,
this is the solution. It's always when like overly like
it's
shameless.
always arms race. Like
Yeah.
you have to like commit to the
No,
arms race,
this is
right?
this is also how like all of the like the peak women misery was achieved when guys started doing like the soft boy, like, oh sorry, like I can't see you again, like I it was so great last time, but I'm really dealing with a lot of emotions right now and I have a lot to think through. Like when
Oh
guys
my god,
started
that
doing
was
that back,
so funny.
they
That
were
was
so
so
cooked.
funny.
They were so cooked because they can't admit that they don't think it's legitimate because that's also how they get out of everything. Like
Yeah, dude. Oh my god, that was the funniest article, by a bunch of women, and they were, like, talking about their heterosexual, like, dating fatigue, and it's like, "These men are too anxious to come over and fuck us," and it's like, "Dude, he's just letting you down easier, like, he's just rejecting you the same way that women have,
this
like,
is just
rejected
ghosting you. This
guys,"
is
like
just ghosting you guy version.
it's just soft. It's just like soft psychology weaponization. It's yeah, psychology weaponization. Like basically, guys are just going to destroy women on psychology weaponization for the next 5 years because it's like the dodo bird, right? Like women don't understand that when a guy's like, "Oh, I'm too anxious to see you," or like, "I have commitment issues." Like,
Well,
no, it just means he's evil. Yeah, well, that's why the only way to fix gender relations is like
we could honestly talk for like 8 years about Retatrutide and like the GLP-1s and all of this stuff. Like I actually am now totally convinced that this is just going to like completely save and revolutionize society and that everybody just needs to get over their fear of like injecting the stuff and or honestly a lot of these people could be sleep injected by like their roommates or friends or stuff if they're scared of it. Like other people aren't scared of injecting you, they actually think that it's kind of fun and cool, right? But like there's so many things that like the country will do to protect people that have like more risk to people than GLP-1s do. And these things are so much more useful. If you go through and you do all of the budgeting in America, you truly are going to find that like I probably like 80%, at least 80% of federal spending is due to fat people in some way. Like maybe it's because we're not productive enough. It's literally not just like the medical expense. It's like the physical capital that is lost by fat people being fat. Okay, here, we're going to break it down. One, how much of the economy exists to like feed people an infinite bowl of slop, right? Like corn syrup, like the sugars, all of this stuff. Like, there's literally an entire vertical of the economy, an extremely profitable vertical of the economy that exists just to sell people literal poison that gives them like omega cancer as soon as they turn like 43 years old, right? Or like it gives them diabetes or like whatever it does, it requires that we have like this huge medical industrial complex that just like as soon as you turn 60 years old, it starts charging all of your parents like $1 bajillion a year as they die, siphoning it off from them, right? So like nobody gets any inheritance anymore because of that. And also everyone's quality of life is awful because they just have like 8 billion problems that are downstream of being obese. Like a lot of the heart related morbidity issues we have are just obesity actually. But here, this is a very important part, okay? All of you capitalists out there, you're going to appreciate this one. You have a pet, right? Or you know someone who has a pet. What happens to your pet when that thing gets fat as fuck? It turns into Garfield. It stops moving. It does nothing. It's just lying there sleeping all day. When your pet is skinny, you will notice that they're just like bouncing off of walls and like zipping around and like boing, 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 but they're just trying to eat everything. Like they're going nuts, dude. They have so much energy. That is literally the American worker. the American worker in a state of non-obesity is like 800 million times more productive. I don't even need a study to tell me this. I guarantee that it's true. I guarantee there's fucking nobody in the state of the universe that has ever become obese and become more productive. Like, it doesn't happen. So like all of these fat people are actually committing like incidental wage theft from their employers. Like the employers should actually like have like a government mandate
Your
to go
employer should have
around.
like a right to sue you if you're fat. Yeah.
No. The employers actually have like a financial incentive to Ozempic blow dart you. Like while you're sitting there at your desk toiling away, they should Ozempic blow dart you. The most aggressive thing you can do for your face, it's called like a phenol peel, right? And they basically take like carboxylic acid and they just douse your face in this acid that just like evaporates the top layers of your skin. They have to hook you up to an EKG because if the carboxylic acid is absorbed into your bloodstream, which is now exposed because you just like eviscerated the top of your face, you're just like, it's just a bloody, right? So it's like direct contact with your bleeding face. If it gets absorbed in high enough quantities, it just like gives you a heart attack. So you have to be like monitored for a heart attack while you're dissolving your face in a vat of acid. And then like the result of this is like you just have like a hideous crusted face for like 2 weeks, and then you go back to work, and after like a month, you're just gorgeous. Like it's dissolved all of your wrinkles and all of your crows. Like the before and afters are truly insane. Like you're taking like random 80-year-old grandmas and making them look like they're 50. Like it's so fucking nuts. And then you have like CO2 lasers are like a step down from there. They do the same thing. You just literally laser your face until you blow up like an ablative CO2 laser. Just blow up the top layer of your face, and then it regrows. And then you have like micro needling, which is the same thing. You just stab your face with needles. I don't know why they call it micro needling, by the way, because they're clearly just needles. They're like the same diameter as regular needle. I guess they're
It's
shorter. They
marketing. A
don't.
lot of that stuff is like good marketing practice, right? It's
Yeah,
like micro needling sounds cooler than just like regular needling, right? Like
but
imagine you're there at like the PTA meeting. You're like a mom in like a high cost of living area, and you're like very proudly boasting about the fact that you got like normal needling done. Some other woman's like, "Oh, I
it's
got
also like
micro
the
needling
machine
done."
used to do it is a needler, which is like a weapon in Halo. So it probably is like not, it's not good SEO optimization, right? You've already lost to 343 Industries or whatever the fuck. But then
Yeah.
you have like so you have the microneedling, and then you have like the retinol, which is literally just like it's just gonna dissolve and peel your, or like chemical peels, like the standard like whatever Korean beauty chemical peel. All of this stuff though is literally just like we're gonna dissolve your face in varying levels, and then like increase your cell turnover rate by dissolving it, and then like you're gonna have
So
newer
that's
skin,
my
but like
fear is that you end up with like skin cancer because you're just like turning over your cells all the time.
I
Is
don't know if
that
it's
like a
skin cancer
legitimate
or if you
fear?
just like age early.
Every single person I talk to who I like trust on this, who uses them, is like, yeah, it might do that, but consider how good my skin looks right now.
So
That's
I
like
I
kind of
think
what I've heard.
I think that skin cancer is less likely than it's just going to like age your skin faster. And when I say age your skin, I mean like when you're like 60 years old,
Like
you're
it'll
going to
look
have the
good.
skin
Yeah,
like an
once you're
80,
50, you'll
because
have like
you've already
70-year-old
like
skin.
rejuvenated your skin so many times through the cell turnover rate. Like you've used up like a 20-year period, right? But
There's
maybe I'm
some meme
delusional.
here
Who knows?
about how like a beauty interest rate, like what's the beauty interest rate? Like what is the optimal like macroeconomic way of like bringing forward your beauty to like you're 18 to like like 30 years old when you're like mating
Basically
season.
every drug functions under this principle, right? It's the same thing with amphetamines. Like amphetamines basically just allow you to use like tomorrow's dopamine today with interest. It's like it's the same principle that carries through with pretty much every drug. Like if you're gonna be, there's really not any free lunches.
You don't
Massive
think
zero
the
downtime.
amphetamines are okay for like focus and stuff? You think that's bad too?
I mean, they clearly make people focus more. Like you can give, like regardless of whether someone has like ADHD or not, you can give someone amphetamines, uh, and they will be more focused.
Do you think we're taking more amphetamines than like the Nazis were taking or something? I've heard like some crazy statistics. Like just any number that is like fraudulent or like people might want to hide. There's just no way of knowing. Like it's completely impossible. It's like when people go like, well, there's probably only this much fraud in like Medicare, or there's this much,
Like
potential
when people
fraud.
early on came out and like you had people on the right saying that the level of Somali fraud in Minnesota was like $1 trillion, and you had people on the left saying like it's like $0. Actually,
It's like
it was
$10, bro.
negative. They were actually paying
Yeah.
everyone out of the good of their hearts, despite the fact that as net
Oh,
they're a
yeah,
very
do you remember that
impoverished
meme where
unit.
it's, like, illegal people, like, pay a bunch of taxes and they don't, like, they don't receive any benefits? That was
Correct.
the funniest thing, dude.
Dude, they had like years where they were telling us that all of these illegal immigrants were coming here, paying taxes, and not taking any benefits. And they were like, people would actually believe this. They'd be like, well, this Washington Post article says that like they just come here and work for us for slave wages and then pay our taxes, actually. And everyone was like, oh, yeah, that like makes sense.
Dude, that one Ezra Klein tweet was so insane, where in the same tweet, he went like, "Trump often lies about Democrats giving healthcare to undocumented immigrants, period." And then the next sentence is, "In California, Governor Newsom actually did it, period," and defends it. It was just like cognitive dissonance, like in the same like 5-second period. It was just the most. I actually had to
Dude,
like reread it
okay,
a
do you
couple
wanna
of
know my do you
times
wanna
to
know my
make
theory on
sure
that tweet? Do you wanna know my theory on that tweet? And
it's like
maybe I'm
clickbait or
just saying this
something.
because I look slightly similar to Ezra Klein, but, I actually think that at some point over the last few years, Ezra Klein has accidentally, like, red pilled himself to a certain degree, and he's now actually trying to, like, he made that tweet basically to, like, call attention to this ridiculous thing while having the liberals just think he was an idiot as opposed to, a traitor.
So I'll give you a slightly less, maybe a bit more lukewarm one. Ezra Klein, a lot of people are saying he wants to run, which I think is crazy because he's never run for anything, right? And like people like you and I will know who he is, right? You know, whatever. But I think the
I don't
average
even
person
really know who he
doesn't.
is. I heard of him, like,
Yeah,
very
you've heard
minimally,
of his
and I
name like loosely somewhere.
yeah, and I just saw his recent posts, and I was like, "This guy is like he's, like, accidentally exposing a lot of the left's, like, big rhetorical weaknesses that they typically don't want people shining a, flashlight on," right? And I'm just like I'm trying to come up with, like, reasons for why he's doing this, and it's either, like, he's the world's most ineffectual pundit, or he's, like, accidentally secretly based.
So what I so here's the theory is that like he's trying to run for president and he wants Newsom to look really bad. That would be one theory.
But, like, he also made
Dude, the other
himself
thing
look really
is
bad. Like, there's ways to make Newsom look bad that don't make yourself look even dumber.
I think you look dumb, but you look like weird. Like it's such a weird like
I
it's
mean,
such a weird
it
way of
was a
looking
great
dumb.
virality tactic to basically come out and say, like do it the way that he did, where it's like he has, like, a self-contained lie within the tweet such that, like, literally everybody, even those on his side, are forced to comment and say, like, "Dude, like, what" even liberals I knew were commenting saying, like, "You gotta reel this in, bro, like, tighten up, like, this is pretty bad."
Back it up, bro. Like yeah, I don't know about the optics on this one, King. Like hmm.
Like Turbo, like, lived out, like, Soy Jacks commenting and saying, like, "Brother, like, you've truly gone off the cob with this one."
You see, they wanted there was like a proposal to put Rufo in charge of PBS, like Rufo and LOMEZ, to get them to be in charge of like the
Wait,
PBS
really? That would be
broadcasting.
amazing.
Yeah, that would be so amazing, dude. Can you like non-zero chance? So if Rufo and LOMEZ get on that, we could be on PBS. Can you imagine? Like
Yeah.
your dad just turns on the radio. It's just Lukas and Saila. I mean, there's already all these like podcast people in charge of things. Like my understanding is that
Dude, the
a lot of the
entire
people at the
Trump
FBI.
administration is just, like, podcasters and Twitter posters.
I'm trying
Like,
to be a
literally,
little bit
like
nicer about it because I know some of these people, but yeah, it is just yeah, it's pretty it's a little bit crazy.
there's actually no reason that we couldn't be in the Trump administration.
What would you do at what would be your job? It's like this is like the communist meme where it's like what would your job be,
I would
Paul?
be like an obesity commissar, dude. I would go through the White House, Ozempic blow darting everyone. Like, they truly need it, man. I know
Something.
we're supposed to pretend if guys like, if guys are fat, it's fine. If women are it's like, dude, I just think it's all bad. Like, Ozempic blow darts for everyone. Gender neutral Ozempic blow darts. It has to be done.
Equal opportunity Ozempic
Equal
blow
opportunity Ozempic blow dart. Title
True,
IX
dude.
has mandated that I have to do this to you, Mr. Trump. I'm sorry. Please just turn around. It will make this so much easier.
I don't want this to be any more difficult than it has to be. You start pulling out like the therapy language they use before like the cop ruins your life. Like the female cop is like, please don't make this any harder than it has to.
We have to be extremely, extremely diligent about the Ozempic blow darts.
Well, it is. It's 40% of America, man. It's like
Here,
it's
I'm
it's
gonna look
pretty
up the
insane.
actual American obesity statistics, and by look up, I
I
mean
actually think it's 40%.
I'm going to ask Super Grok, the AI.
Hold this shit up, Jamie. Do you think we could make a Jamie bot? We should do that next episode.
So it's obesity prevalence of 40.3, but that's not what I want. I want like a bar graph showing me how fat everyone is.
Yeah, I want like a bar graph with like BMI by percentile, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I really want to see this broken down by BMI. Holy dude, severe obesity is at 10%. Severe obesity is BMI of over 40.
No, severe obesity is like it's difficult for you to walk.
Well,
I'm
okay,
telling you,
like
it's really
like how
bad.
big is severe obesity? Like this has got to be like actually like over 300 pounds for the average male.
40 BMI is really, really fucking bad, dude. How do you think they'll make like an Ozempic they'll find like something
It's
to like for
literally
muscle
300
growth?
pounds. If you're 6 feet tall, 40 BMI is literally like 290 something pounds. It's like 295.
I'm telling you, it's the obesity problem is like much bigger. Like when RFK goes up
That's
on stage and
10%
like
of people.
starts soy facing,
1 in 10 of these people are like 300 pounds. This is like actually beyond the weight at which chairs will break if you interact with them in a normal capacity.
it's so bad. It's so much worse than anyone realizes. This is why like I have a lot of respect for RFK, despite the fact that like he's always swaying
He's
over
such a
like the obesity
weird
rates.
goofball trying to do like Twitter virality hacks all the time. But like it is like this is actually the only problem that I seriously care about in America. I don't like I also just assume that fat people are more corrupt too, if we're being honest. So like I don't think we can fix the corruption until we get rid of the obesity.
No, I mean it's just very, very bad. It's at the stage where something needs to be done about this.
And
It's gone far past
we
this.
literally have a fix everything easily button, like with Ozempic, and then we have like tirzepatide and retatrutide, and they're like it's like if everyone just gets over the weird hang up about like subcutaneous injections, uh, and
Which
it's
one
like
do you think is the
easy.
best one? Do you have like a preference?
I think Reta's the best in terms of like it has the most like it has like 3 mechanisms of action. They added in some glucagon thing. I could pretend that I know what that means, but like I just don't. Like I
It
honestly don't even
sounds
know what
really good.
glucagon is. Glucagon sounds truly amazing. Yeah, I do actually really like the name. But
It sounds really good. That sounds like it does something very effective.
well, it simultaneously like nerfs your appetite and like increases your metabolism.
How do the Peters feel about this?
Peters probably just hate it. The Peters hate basically everything that works. The only thing that they really like taking is like progesterone, which just transes you, I think.
Yeah,
We
fuck
had
that,
a
but
very
it's fine. It
legendary
was
argument back in the day where Saila was arguing with me. We were drawing lines on charts, and I was like, I basically was arguing the lines are meaningful. Like the lines are a meaningful thing that you can use when doing technical analysis to trade. And he is just like, no, like and then
your
at
argument was
some
actually
point,
way more defensible than that. If I can step in for a second on like my past self, your argument was not even the lines were meaningful. Your argument is like the lines are useful, which is actually a way lower bar to clear than like meaningful. Like like somewhat like having the lines is like somewhat better than like not having the lines. And I think I just read too many posts like trying to own like men that were like, oh, like lines on charts is just male astrology, bro. And I fell for the psyop.
the craziest thing was I assumed that like he had at some point attempted to use lines on charts
I
to make
never
some sort
used
of
lines
trade.
in my
And
entire life.
he reveals to me like a month later, he comes back and he's like, dude, Lucas, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I started trading and it was just immediately obvious that making horizontal lines across the chart is like, that's the only way this works.
It was so obvious too. It was just the most in your face. Like I did it, and it was just like, oh, it keeps bouncing off of this thing. It's like I actually. It was like the most scripted thing. Like it wasn't like the lines were working like 90% of the time. It was like the lines were just not failing ever. And it wasn't like some complex like line where it's like, oh, you have to do the logarithmic, like oh, like time. It was literally just like horizontal lines on like the most obvious points on the chart. It was really bad. It was so bad that I came to you like months later and I was like, hey man, like my bad on that one.
And I've never seen Saila admit he was wrong ever before. Like this is literally the only time he's ever admitted any error in any past action that he's taken.
No, it
Because,
was
dude,
it
we
was so
literally
egregious. I actually like felt very culpable about this. I think the DI article was like interesting.
like for context, there's a lot of people who probably don't even know what article we're talking about, but there was an article that came out and it effectively said like, okay, like due to changes in DEI, affirmative action, what have you, there has been a drastic decrease in white men hired from basically all companies in XYZ fields. The fields listed were like media, like elite academia, and like creative fields and stuff like that. And what they were saying is like, okay, this is happening, but the reason that it's not getting picked up to be as severe as it was is because it's only happening to one age cohort, right? So it's basically happening starting at age like, or starting around like the year 2014. And so you're having all of the guys that are entering the workforce from then until now, effectively, have just been turbo shafted. And nobody else is noticing it because all of these old guys who were in tenured positions, like they will still rehire like another white person for a tenured position that was already filled by like a white person. But for all of the new positions that came up, for all of the junior positions, they're being given away to women or some other variety of minority. So it was a situation where this one demographic basically had their numbers cut in like half by appearance, but in actuality, millennial men actually just had like an 80% decrease in hireability over all previous cohorts of white men. So it was like pretty bad for people of this age cohort in specific fields. And like a lot of them just went to tech. They still got discriminated against there, but it wasn't like as bad. Anything that has like a zero barrier to entry are all places that white men went to because
Anything
you
where you
can
could
no
like
longer be,
independently kind of pick it off.
yeah, like you can no longer get institutionally gated because there's no institution gating anything, right? Like anyone can have a podcast. There's no like god of podcasting that says like you're not diverse enough, fuck you. So this article went out and there's a bunch of these like center left people who are like responding to the article saying like, "Oh my god, this is so awful. I had no idea this was happening." And we're all just sitting there thinking like, dude, like everybody's known that this was happening. Like this was explicitly stated to be happening by like literally every single institutional body for the last like 10 years of our lives. There were a lot of people out there who were proclaiming that they have no idea this was going on and it was all so awful. And oh my God, I never would have supported this. And then it's like you just search DEI in their tweets and they're like, DEI is amazing. I hate white men and hope they never get a job.
Oh, yeah. It's just like it's like it was just the funniest like 1-2 comedic. Like the thing is like it does make you like wonder and like sit there for 2 seconds because like sometimes I'll like say something and I'll be like, have I ever said something about this before? And I'll just like do like 2 or 3 like quick keyword searches, right? And it's like these people could not be bothered to do like the most basic like search ever.
They literally were getting like quote tweeted by these people about this stuff saying like, you've already said this, like you've gone on record supporting this.
Yeah, and then they were denying. It's
uh
like the tweet is right there, like right above them, and they're denying that they like said the thing that's in the tweet right above like their reply.
yeah,
Yeah, it was just
they're like, no, that means a different thing, like it's taken out of context or something, and then you put it in the context of like, it's like, okay, this is like tweet 7 in a thread of like 16 tweets, let's read the rest of them, and they're all just like, dude, like it's so awesome that white men are despairing and killing themselves. Tweet number 14, like, wow, like look, white men are so sad, this is awesome.
yeah, it was just not the best optics ever, man. I really
Definitely
think
not.
some of these people should hire you for optics. Like we were joking about this, but yeah, I think you could get hired. They're not sending their best, man. They're really not. I feel like the problem with when they do that is like if someone comes up to you and they go like, "Yeah, I did all this like shit," like, okay, let's see how we can move past it. Like you can move past, but someone who like lies to you This is like
Yeah, it's
a
literally the fucking
thing.
like that
Yeah.
SpongeBob meme where you're holding up, you're like, this is your ID, right? Like you're Patrick Star, right? And they're like, yeah, that's my tweet. And you're like, and this is the part of the tweet where you say that all white men should be killed and die unemployed, right? And they're like, yeah, that's the part. And then so this is you saying that, right? And they're like, I don't know, man. Like I wouldn't read it that way.
Yeah. And it's just like there's nothing you can say to that, right? You just don't inhabit the same reality of these people.
Yeah, you just have to look at them and say like this person is truly off the cob, man. Like
This person is off the cob is sending me every time. I think this person is truly festive, dude. I'm feeling festive, okay? I'm a person and I'm feeling festive as hell, man. I feel the holiday cheer. I'm just not even getting mad over these things anymore. I just don't care. I'm beyond it.
yeah, like I you truly cannot get mad at this because like I think we've just reached a point in politics where everyone is like, I just hate the other side so much. And like, I know that they hate me too. I know that they're going to lie because they want to kill me. Like, and like, that's beautiful, right? Like,
No, it really is. There's like a deep honesty to it that I think is like very refreshing. It I don't
I
know. I
think
think it's good.
I could show like all of these like crazy things that like people on the left have been exposed for doing over the last like 2 years and say like, see, I was right about all of this. And like, they would concede it and be like, yeah, like that's like, I always knew that you were right when I was calling you a schizophrenic. I was being bad faith because I wanted to gaslight you because I hate you and want you to die. And it'd be like,
Dude, it
oh,
would be so
okay. And I'd be
based.
like, okay.
So people and like so the funniest thing is that like the whole like these people have gone off the cob meme is has like hit the point where like I think if like Ezra Klein like came out and was like, yeah, I was actually just being bad faith, like I was lying, like I
Yeah,
think right wingers would start like making like based edits of Ezra. It would be like,
I was
holy
using
shit, like
I was
Giga
using the
Chad.
Talmudic tactic of lying to your face because I want you to die. Like that's
I
you were
think people would
using the
unironically
rhetorical
make like based
fallacy of
edits.
believing me, right? And I was using the objective truth of lying to your face.
It's like, well, you see, what happened there is, I lied to you, and you committed the grave mistake of like taking me at face value. Um, I really do. I think this is the one of the things about me is like I really do just like appreciate honesty like an outsized
I
amount.
know, yeah. It's a very like Germanic trait. Like this is one of those ones where it's like, okay, this is a little bit of my ethnicity shining through here. But like, even if the honesty is like, I hate you and
Even if it's like I want to kill you, it's like I
yeah, like
appreciate that. Like, thanks for
like yeah,
telling me, bro.
thank you. We can finally do away with these like superficial layers of unnecessary discourse, right? Like finally we can
Can
get
be
to the meat.
honest with each other. Yeah, it is a Germanic thing. It's like, wow, I really appreciate that you like told me you hate me and you like want the worst for me in life.
The problem is that just like most people don't actually really appreciate honesty that much. Like, guys will always tweet out stuff like, dude, like instead of ghosting me, like why couldn't you just like tell me honestly that you hate me and think I'm an evil loser? And it's like, dude, I have seen girls do that to guys before, and you don't actually want them to do that. Like, I guarantee you that you don't want them to be honest with you about what they think about you. Like, it's much more comfortable if you're just like confused for 2 weeks and then they disappear. Like, it's just so much better.
Well, I think that's a thing where like the real person who's failing you there is like your friend, right? Like your friend needs to tell you like, yeah, man, I don't know how likely it is that like I don't think she has like three grandmothers that have died in the past week, bro. I think she just doesn't want to go on that date with
Well,
you, man.
yeah, but I mean, it's like kind of insane to say that the friend is failing because like people don't actually really have friends, bro.
Yeah, that's
We are
kind of
hitting
true.
historic. Everyone talks about like, oh, like how do we fix the dating or the fuck rate or
It's
the
actually a friend problem. No, I'm completely on
literally,
board with this, man.
yeah, like you
It's a friend
literally,
problem where no one has friends because the normal thing is that like your friends introduce you to people like this whole like dating app like meet a complete stranger and then like go on a date with them is like actually the most like unnatural thing of all time, right? Like no one
also,
like
dude,
over
you
the
also literally
5,000
cannot
years of
have a
your
successful
ancestors.
relationship if you don't have serious friends because you're like a detached social like atomized molecule. Like you have no
You're also
grounding in
like not
reality.
all in a way where right? Like there's nothing at stake. Like at any point you can like jettison the whole relationship and it's like your
Yeah,
life just
there's no,
continues
like,
on as
weird
if nothing.
friction keeping you together, and so, like, as soon as the most minor thing happens that causes you irritation, it's like, "Well, I've been on the dating apps, and there's, like, 8 girls that are plus or minus 2% the same as this one, so, like, they haven't pissed me off yet, this one's pissed me off, I might as well just" it's nothing
Yeah, and it's
personal,
like on to
but
the next. Yeah, it is just the switching costs need to be like increased. And this is like the thing that the like tech brained people will never understand, which is like actually low switching costs are like bad a lot of the time.
it's like the same
Like
idea with, like,
socially.
economics, actually, where you have, like, this idea that, like, free markets are better in all contexts, and it's like, actually, like, protectionism sometimes has its merits, right? And it's like the
Well,
same.
even like you can go to like a very extreme example that like illustrates it very clearly. Like, should we have like a free assassination market? It's like I don't know if we want to live in that world, right? So it's like very, very obviously tautologically, like there's certain things that no one wants free markets for. But yeah, I mean, the free market sells will like free market sell out.
The problem with the free market is that if you fully endorse free market dynamics in basically anything, regardless of whether it be, like, dating, like, actual capital markets, like, interstate, intercountry, intercontinental commerce, it basically winds up being, like, endorsing pure evil, and it's, like,
Yeah, because
sometimes
the free market is brutal. The free market is like nature. Nature is like very brutal, right? Nature is not a very forgiving place. The default state of nature is like, total annihilation,
if you allow nature,
genocide all the time.
like,
These people are billionaires, dude. They're like billionaires. Like they have the capital to have a surgeon like minutely remove and like reattach every single atom of their body. Like economically, that makes no difference to him at all, and he just doesn't do it. I don't get it, dude.
I know, especially because it is like Elon does he has actually accepted a lot of, like, horrifying, like, tech truisms. One of the most horrifying tech truisms is basically, like, the reality of all the looksmaxing shit and the fact that it's all, like, objectively correct and basically impossible to argue with, right? Like, if I were to tell basically anyone that it's like, okay, if you make yourself more attractive, every deal that you engage in or negotiate in is you're going to get a better outcome or the same outcome, but it's never going to be worse. It's literally never going to be worse. Is this worth any amount of money to you? It should exponentially scale with your deal making ability, right? Like if you are making $50 billion deals, the value of being slightly hotter is now like way higher, right? And like they do get this because they've gotten hair transplants. So like I know that they believe this, right? But it's like they just need to believe it harder. They need to believe it to the extent of being like a Brian Johnson, like transhumanist freak where you're like injecting nanomolecules into your blood to try and like turn yourself into a vampire who dates like goth women.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, dude, it's so funny how like he's like revealing that like his live-in assistant that spends like 20 hours a day with him is like dating him, and it's like, yeah, man, like that was kind of priced in, like
Like, yeah, by the way, like a lot of you may have noticed that this girl that I've been flirting with egregiously and treating like my wife for the last 4 months of the
on
year
camera
on
as I
camera
stream my
is
entire
actually my
life.
girlfriend. I don't mean to alarm anyone, but I just have to let them know the truth must be heard. Dude, I'm so speaking of looks maxing, this stupid patch of hair that randomly decided to fall out of my beard, it's genuinely like it's ruining my life. I'm gonna get like a Sharpie and draw in like 500 fake hairs every time I come onto this podcast. This is so awful.
But yeah, I do think it has been the decade of the incel. What do you think is next? Who do you is it like
I honestly think the incel stuff is just like there's a few people that have tried to call the top for like incelism or whatever. I think it's literally like we were on like a multi-generational downward trend and we have only now like gotten confirmation that we're in a breakout. I think the incel shit can go so much higher. The fact that Clavicular went off the way that he did with like there was actually no like structural reason why Clavicular was getting that level of distribution from people other than that people genuinely liked the content. People all wanted to see like a tall, handsome guy just being like an asshole to women and being unapologetic about the fact that he got like a bunch of plastic surgery to make him a funnier asshole to women. Like that was it. he wasn't selling anyone anything. He didn't have like some crazy clip distribution plan. Like there wasn't some massive built up network of like Nick Fuentesian followers that have been following him for like 15 years wanting this stuff. Like it was legitimately just that it was culturally primed for this content.
I mean, it's like a right place, right time, right? I mean, he's obviously done a lot of stuff correctly, but yeah, I think it's an interesting time. Here's my take. I think it's been the decade of the incel from
And it's
2015
about to be the century.
to no, and it's going to be the decade of the fake cell next. It's gonna be the
Well,
decade
they're
of
the
the
same
fake
thing,
cell.
dude. Like clavicular is not an incel, you know? Like
No, but I think there is a difference. But the thing is, like, it's going to be hard to tell when the thing is happening, obviously, because like by nature of what a fake cell is, right? Like, it'll be very difficult to tell the exact moment when the switch has happened.
I mean, clavicular is just not an incel. He's an incel by like the meme term we're using here, where it's just like man who is mean to women is an incel. But like he's literally like clipping himself like in bed with women that he's had sex with.
Well, I think then you kind of agree with me. I think actually, like, very specifically, like, it has been a decade of the incel and not the fake cell for the past decade. And I think, like, no semantic drift. And I think the next decade is not going to be so great for incels. It'll be the decade of the fake cell, who is like, he's like the incel. It's literally just he has sex.
So why would you
Um,
why what's your thesis here?
I think, I think it's just that like women have started to get into the incel. Like you see these women who are like incel groupies now. Um, and there's like enough of it that it's starting to hit critical mass where women are like into the incel, which causes more women to be into the incel. Like you see the
So
like
it's like right
Nick
wing Twitter getting
Fuentes.
broke open. Yeah.
Or like I mean, there's like women, like actually real women posting like real edits that they have made of like Nick Fuentes. Uh, like, and I think that's like peak fake cell, right? It doesn't like that's almost definitionally fake cell, right?
Yeah, Fuentes is like I'm actually seeing like completely normal liberal women like laughing at Fuentes content without like anyone showing it to them. Like it's being served to them on like Instagram.
It's pretty weak. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get, but I fear I'm like somewhat genetically predisposed to be like somewhat conspiratorial about this. Does this make you feel
Because the Hillary
conspiratorial at all, or
thing.
not really?
I mean, like it is weird that like Piers Morgan had the dude on. They're
There
all like
either.
trying to elevate like Nick Fuentes because they think that he's going to like drive some wedge into the right or blah blah blah. But like I'm also not at the point now where I'm like naive enough to believe that the left's predictions on like what will or won't drive a wedge into any culture are like accurate or more than just like weird fundaments of their imagination. So like the fact that they're doing something with intention doesn't necessarily mean that it is going to do that thing, right? So I am
Yeah,
basically just saying
correct.
like I am but a plastic bag in the wind. I hope that God blows me somewhere desirable, right?
You're like that one Pepe meme where he's just like achieved samsara and like ascended and he's just like kneeling
He's,
outside. For me, it's like
well,
more like what is the effect
Fuentes
of
is
this,
also he's
right?
also
Like,
funny, man. Like regardless of what anyone thinks about him, like it's like
yeah, he's no,
where
he's like
in
very
order
obviously
in
very
order for
funny.
someone to say that Trump isn't like charismatic and funny, you just have to be truly off the cop, right? And it's the same thing with Fuentes. Like there have been periods where I've loved him or hated him or whatever. There's literally never been a period where I've been like, this guy isn't like an extremely talented, funny, generational prodigy speaker. Like he is truly an entertainer.
No,
And
he's a great
whatever
entertainer.
side manages to court him and get him to like push their issues just wins. Like he's like one of the best from the entire generation, probably the best actually.
Well, he's been streaming like every day for like 10 years at this point, just in selling out. He's like his audience actively rewards him. I think it's an interesting time. I think we'll see him like develop. I think he's also gotten big enough that like he is actually a political force at this point.
Like what other young person is like Harry Sisson or whatever the fuck
Harry
guy
Sisson.
Harry Sisson, yeah, like
Nick Fuentes is allowed to make jokes that like no one else is allowed to make, right? Like he's allowed to like make a joke of like, imagine you're there with like Jeffrey Epstein. Are you going to be the guy who's like, excuse me, ladies, can I see some ID? Like no other comedian is allowed to make that joke, right? Like
well,
no
I think
other.
it's just really, really hard to try and like You're gonna try and like cancel some guy for like an Epstein joke after they're on like a Pierce Morgan interview saying like unironically Hitler is based and cool. And like you're gonna go
Yeah.
and get mad at him for like some Epstein comment about like, like it just he just basically did what every normal grandpa sees as endorsing the Holocaust, right? And you're gonna try and cancel him for like
Yeah, it's
reaching
like it's
consent law.
impossible to cancel him more than that. It's over. There's no yeah. Dude, I on the boomer thing, and like the earlier topics about like the audience capture that we were talking about, I've said this before, but it must feel so good to be like Candace Owen and you've spent like 10 years working for like Ben Shapiro and now you can just say whatever insane shit you want and like a million boomers will just agree with you no matter what. Like,
Dude, the craziest thing about Candace Owens is like when I was in Taipei, there was a very wealthy man married to a Singaporean woman, like a Singaporean national, a Chinese Singaporean national, who was obsessed with Candace Owens. Like her husband did not put her onto this. Like she somehow independently, as a Chinese speaking Singaporean national, has become obsessed with Candace Owens. And that's like that's like the level of confusion that I feel whenever anyone tells me that they listen to Candace Owens. It's always like someone who I'm like, how is it even possible for you to know who this person is? And then Candace Owens herself, it's like, how is it even possible for you to exist, right? Her like life's work is like accusing like Macron's wife of being like a transsexual, and she's been on this for like 3 years. Like
she's been on that for so long, bro.
she's been on it for so long. Like I think wasn't there like a lawsuit where like Macron's wife like sued her over this? The whole thing is so absurd also
Well,
because
her new
at a
thing,
certain
she
point,
clearly has some sort of obsession with France because her new thing is that like Charlie Kirk was like killed by like a French battalion for some reason. Um, it's just, yeah, I don't know. The thing with her is like I feel like someone could come, like God could come down from heaven and tell her like you're right, like Macron's wife is a man. And then she'd be like, I don't believe you now. Like she would like immediately like start believing some like second goofier thing, like some other.
and on that note, we are going to be calling it a wrap. Thank you guys for tuning in to Plausibly Deniable. Please like, share, retweet, subscribe, comment, and send to your relatives unsolicited. Thank you guys again, and Godspeed.